Welcome back to my channel. Please subscribe now. If you are new on this channel, because some collector of coins are collecting now. This coin because this coin have many secret. I sure you not know these secrets. One Peso coins selling now in secret service and websites. If you know these websites, that's good. But if you not know, you sell me in $1 million. If you want to sell this coin, so comment now, yes, and watch this video till end. In this video, we discussed all details of selling coins. What you're about to hear isn't just another rare coin story. This is a mystery that's shaking the entire coin community, a tale of lost mint errors, hidden markings, and shocking discoveries that have turned a simple coin into one of the most valuable pieces of metal ever found. So sit tight, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. It all started decades ago. In the early 1970s and 80s, the Philippines issued a series of One Peso coins, mostly made from nickel brass or copper-nickel alloys. To most people, they were just regular coins, small, round, and used every day for buying food, bus tickets, and simple items. But somewhere in that mass of everyday change, a few special coins were struck, coins that were never meant to exist. Experts call them the Ghost Strike Peso coins, and these pieces carry unexplainable errors and secret details that make them unlike anything seen before. The one you see right now might look like an ordinary One Peso coin, showing a tamarao, the wild buffalo native to the Philippines. But take a closer look. The surface texture, the edges, the faded mint marks, they all tell a story. Some versions of this coin show double striking. Others have a mysterious shadow under the design, something that suggests they were misaligned during minting. But the rarest of all, the one believed to be minted with a metal blend used only for prototype testing. A composition that doesn't match any official record. And that, my friends, is where this story turns from ordinary to unbelievable. When collectors first started spotting these Peso coins in the early 2000s, no one took them seriously. They were brushed off as fakes or just worn-out coins. But one collector in California decided to take a closer look. His name has been kept private, but what he found changed everything. He ran metallurgical tests on his coin and discovered it wasn't made of standard nickel. Instead, it contained traces of silver and tin, a combination that doesn't belong to any officially issued One Peso coin. That one test made headlines in the coin world. Experts couldn't believe it. How could a low-value coin from decades ago suddenly contain precious metals and unknown mint marks? Then came the second shock. Another collector from Texas compared his One Peso coin under a digital microscope and spotted something chilling, a faint marking hidden beneath the buffalo's leg. At first, he thought it was a scratch. But when enhanced digitally, the marking appeared to be a miniature mint date that didn't exist in Philippine records. That's right. A coin that officially was never supposed to exist had a minting code tied to experimental production runs. And that was enough to send shockwaves through the numismatic community. As word spread across Reddit threads, coin forums, and collector groups, everyone wanted to know one thing. Could this be the rarest Peso coin ever made? People started digging through old jars, checking their collections, even raiding their grandparents' coin boxes, searching for that one. Peso with the distinct buffalo engraving, hoping they'd strike gold, or in this case, silver. Within months, auction houses began receiving private offers. Some collectors were ready to pay hundreds, then thousands, and then one private collector from New York stunned everyone by offering $8 million for a verified prototype. $8 million. For a One Peso coin? It sounds impossible. But in the coin world, impossibility often hides in plain sight. Think about it. The 1943 copper penny sold for over $1.7 million. A 1913 Liberty nickel fetched $5 million. So why not a One Peso with an unknown mint origin and a mysterious alloy composition? Every collector knows, and the rarer the story, the higher the value. And this one has everything. Mystery, history, error, and a legend that refuses to die. But what makes this particular coin so valuable? It's not just its metal or design. It's the mystery behind how it survived. Records from the Central Bank of the Philippines show that during certain years, prototype testing was done on experimental mint machines provided by International manufacturers. Some test coins were created using metals from other countries, even U.S. suppliers, and these coins were never released for circulation. Yet somehow one of those test coins escaped. No one knows how. Was it taken by an insider? Was it accidentally mixed into public circulation? No one can say for sure. But one thing's certain, it exists. And it's been authenticated by multiple independent labs for its unique metallic blend. Oh, now here's where things get truly mind-blowing. When analyzed under magnification, the edge of this coin shows micro-inscriptions, almost invisible to the naked eye. Some experts believe these marks are identifiers. We explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable old coins. Today we dive deep into the history, the value, the legacy, and the hidden treasures behind the Washington quarters, from the years 1973, 1980, and 1985. If you're passionate about coin collecting, numismatics, or simply curious about the coins you might have in your pocket, this video is for you. We're going on a journey through the past and present to understand how these coins became part of everyday American life and why they hold significant value for collectors and historians alike. We begin with a quick overview of the Washington quarter itself, introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. This coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a staple of American currency designed by John Flanagan. We are diving deep into the history and value of a very interesting piece of American currency, the 1973 Washington quarter. This is not just a regular coin, it's a story stamped in metal, a piece of history that has passed through millions of hands and yet remains a mystery to many collectors and enthusiasts around the world. Today, I will take you on a journey through its design, its history, its minting, details its varieties, its errors, and its place in the world of coin collecting, as well as how its value has changed over time and what makes it special. Let's begin with the origins of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The first president of the United States, the coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter, which had been in circulation. Since 1916, the decision to honor Washington came during the Great Depression, a time when Americans were looking for symbols of strength, leadership, and national pride. Sculptor John Flanagan was chosen to design the coin, and his portrait of Washington was based on the bust created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1785. The obverse side of the coin features a left-facing profile of George Washington, along with the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust," and the date of minting, which for our focus today is 1973. Now we come to the year 1973, a year that marked a time of transition in American history, both politically and economically. The United States was emerging from the turbulent 1960s and entering a new phase of change. The Vietnam War was still ongoing. Inflation was beginning to rise, and the Watergate scandal was unfolding against this backdrop. The U.S. Mint continued to produce the Washington quarter for general circulation, and that year the coins were struck at two main facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The Philadelphia quarters bear no mint mark, while the Denver quarters are marked with a small D to the right of Washington's ponytail. The Washington quarters minted in 1973 were composed of copper and nickel, as the last 90% silver quarters had been issued in 1964. The composition of the coin is known as clad, which means it has a core of pure copper and outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This change in composition was introduced in 1965 in response to the rising cost of silver and was part of the Coinage Act of 1965, which permanently ended the use of silver in most circulating coins, including the dime quarter and half dollar. The diameter of the 1973 Washington quarter is 24.3 millimeters, and its weight is 5.67 grams. Its reeded edge and standard thickness are consistent with the quarters we use today. And while millions of these coins were minted, not all of them are created equal, and that is where things start to get interesting for collectors and investors. In 1973, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 346 million quarters, while the Denver Mint struck over 232 million. And the San Francisco Mint also issued a special proof version of the coin, which was not intended for general circulation but rather for collectors. These proof coins were struck with a mirror-like finish and greater detail, and were sold in sealed sets by the U.S. Mint. The 1973's proof quarters are among the most visually stunning examples of the series and hold particular interest among numismatists. When we talk about value, we need to consider condition rarity and demand the average 1973 quarter in circulated condition is worth its face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated and high-grade examples can fetch much more in the collector's market. Coins that are graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC can be worth several dollars to even over $100 depending on their luster strike, and eye appeal proof versions can also bring in premiums, especially if they have been preserved in pristine condition and carry a deep cameo designation indicating strong contrast between the mirrored fields and frosted devices. But what really adds excitement to the 1973 quarter are the known errors and varieties. Over the years, collectors have discovered several notable mistakes in the minting process, which can significantly increase a coin's value. These include double-die obverses, where the inscriptions or profile appear slightly doubled off center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned in the press, and clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an error in the metal cutting process. There are also reports of quarters with missing clad layers which reveal the reddish copper core, and these types of errors can make a common coin extremely rare and valuable in the eyes of a collector. The story of the 1973 Washington quarter does not stop with minting and collecting. It also intersects with larger historical and cultural events. The design of the quarter featuring Washington has become so iconic that it remained unchanged for more than 65 years until the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. This long-standing continuity is a testament to Flanagan's design and to the image of Washington as a unifying symbol in American history during the 1970s. As the country dealt with political scandal and economic challenges, the quarter continued to circulate as a reminder of the nation's founding ideals and leadership. Collectors today often seek to build complete sets of Washington quarters, which include one coin from every year and mint mark, and the 1973 issues are an essential part of that collection, although not considered rare in a general sense. High-grade and error examples of the 1973 quarter continue to attract strong interest and can be a rewarding find for anyone searching through pocket change or old coin rolls. There are even communities and online forums dedicated to identifying and discussing these coins and their unique characteristics, with members sharing their discoveries, tips, and auction results. The values of these coins are often driven by this collective interest and the thrill of finding something extraordinary in the ordinary. So what should you look for if you want to find a valuable 1973 quarter? First, examine the coin for any signs of errors such as doubling, missing layers, or misalignments. Next, check the condition. Sharp details and a lack of wear can suggest higher value. Finally, if you believe you have a potentially valuable specimen, consider submitting it to a professional grading service which can authenticate and grade the coin and give it a market value that buyers trust. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a casual enthusiast, the 1973 Washington quarter offers a fascinating window into American history, minting technology, and the world of coin collecting. It's a coin that tells a story not only of the man whose image it bears, but of the people who used it, the hands it passed through, and the times in which it circulated. So the next time you come across a 1973 quarter, take a closer look, because that small piece of metal could be much more than spare change. It could be a piece of history waiting to be rediscovered. And that concludes our deep dive into the history and value of the 1973 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video, Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more in-depth content on rare coins, valuable finds, and hidden treasures. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.